Inside the Broncos Media Center with Special Teams Coordinator Tom McMahon. Coach, you're the only coordinator to return to the Broncos staff from last season. When you were talking with Vic Fangio about returning, what were those conversations like, and what did he tell you that made you think, I'm going to be a good fit for this staff?
I think it's when you meet Vic, he loves football, and it's you feel it. I talked earlier about his presence, his knowledge of the game, situational football. But I think the biggest thing is his success in everything he's done. It's one of those things where he's deserved this, and it's finally happened. You just really look at it and you can feel that this means a heck of a lot to him. Not only through his words, but through his actions.
He said in his press conference, his introductory press conference, that teaching was going to be paramount in all of his coaches and coordinators. Do you feel like you guys are on that same plane as far as being able to teach and enjoying that teaching process, especially with special teams?
No question. I think that I'm a big believer in if I know, you know. So it starts with the coaches. We got to put the time in and make sure that we know everything that we're going to go out there and teach. Great teachers like Vic. If Vic is talking to you and explaining the scheme, the best thing that he can do is, I can conceive what he's saying. There's a lot of people that hey, I'm going to believe in what this guy says, but you can't see it visually. But just with his words, he can teach a scheme with words where a lot of us are going to have to go up on the board. And that's the biggest thing that, I think that we're going to try and make sure we do also, is do a great job in the classroom.
Last season, special teams play was huge for this team. So many games hinged on special teams plays. When you look back on last season, what sticks out to you? What did you like? What didn't you like?
I think from a coverage standpoint, other than one play, Vic talks about death by inches. When you look at that Oakland game and that first punt, it should be a 65-yard net and turns into a minus 34-yard net, and it is death by inches. We have the ball, if we secure it, and we're 1 inch away from securing that football, and then we also have to finish the play. But that's how that little inch turns into 99 yards. And so that's a negative play that, you look back and it quote unquote hurts you on special teams. But when you give up points, you can't do that. We've got to go out there and put that defense on the 1 yard line. But you look throughout the whole season, I thought from a block standpoint, I think we identified some rushers that can make big plays for us. I think Colby's developing. Brandon's gonna, keep developing and overcome the plus 50, 2 for 7. But you got to look back and you got to say, okay, what did he improve on? No misses from 0 to 49. I don't know if there's many guys even in this football, in the NFL, that did that a year ago as kickers. Casey's gotten much better, but the return game, it's got to improve. We weren't a factor. We didn't give our offense a chance in really almost every game to have a short half field, and we got to do a much better job in that. But we got a long ways to go from an improvement standpoint, but it's very fixable. We got players in this organization that care, players in this organization that are going to take on the identity that we need them to in order to go win a championship, and we have to do our part on teams to do that.
We talked about turnover of the staff, but there's a lot of stability where you're concerned, because you've got Chris Gold back, you've got Colby Wadman, Brandon McManus, Casey Kreider all playing at the end of the season at a very high level. How much does that help you, give you a leg up as we go into 2019?
I think it helps a ton, especially with the verbiage. It's a whole new system. As a whole unit, they know that. The other thing is we were very, very young a year ago. So a lot of that core's coming back, where you get on teams sometimes and you finish a year and you got your fingers crossed that you keep 3 or 4 guys that are heading into free agency. But being as young as we are, I think there's only one place to go, and that's straight up. We got great guys in the classroom. They go out on the practice field and they work their tails off.
You talked about in your press conference, being more dynamic on the returns, being a more dynamic group. How do you teach that? And is that a mentality thing? How do you get a group of guys to get to that dynamic position?
It's really by inches. Our blocks that are missed, we have to sustain a block for another step. Not 3 steps, not 5 steps. We need 1 more step on this block, and you spring a guy. From a returner standpoint, getting to the return 1 step quicker, 1/100th of a second quicker, and you got a chance to. So it's just the little things, and that's the biggest thing when you go from year 1 to year 2. Everybody's trying to get the big picture. Now what you can take, and you can take those the most important details. You know, great players, great human beings are detailed. Now we can get the details ironed out, and what it'll do is now you're going to average 10 yards per return on a punt return. You're going to get that first down. You'll get out to the 25 minimum on all these returns, you know, because it's already given to you if it's a touchback.
Coach, appreciate your time. Enjoy seeing you back here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.